Okay, so everybody's back in the window family?
Yep.
Okay, so let's select the trim again. What are you guys doing?
I think I don't have a glass.
Yeah, you do. That's a glass.
Oh.
She didn't have glass before.
Yeah.
She didn't?
Yeah, like she can see it shows the wall inside.
Yeah, I can see like through
Yeah.
through the window.
Okay.
And it's only
You can't
frame.
see through the window.
So it shows the wall here, not like black here.
Okay, just don't worry about it for now. Let's just finish with this trim thing. So let's select the window, the trim, sorry. There, yeah. So everybody select the trim again. And now let's check that box off again so that we can see the trim. But this time we'll click on this little box here next to the visible command, and we're gonna see this window, and this window is just to apply a parameter to that visibility, but we don't have any parameter right now that we can use, so we're gonna create a new one. Down here there's a button that says new parameter. So we click on it and we have a parameter properties window. So it's always gonna come as default as family parameter, and that's what we want to do in this case. Let's leave it as a family parameter, and the name is gonna be trims. Let's type trims in the name box. And besides that, there is a check mark, like a field for type and a field for instance. If we choose the type option, this parameter is going to change all the windows of that type that we have in the project. But if we change it to instance, we will be able to, in this case, show the trims or not show the trims individually by window. So we can just select one window and hide the trims on that one window without affecting the other windows of the same type. So you guys understand that? And that is very important to know.
Can I say that again?
Yeah. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to go back, select the trim again, and then now we checked the visible box off again. Okay? So make sure you have that check mark there. So that it's going to be visible, but I'm going to create a parameter to control when the trim is visible. And that's why I come here to this little box next to the visible parameter, click on it, and then this window opens up, and that is just to select a parameter. But we don't have any parameter right now. So we're going to create a new parameter. Down here, there's this little symbol which says new parameter. So click on that one, and we'll see this window where we create parameters. This is the window where we create new parameters for a family. So I was saying we will always use family parameter, and we'll type the name, which is going to be trims, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have two options for the parameter: type or instance. If we selected the type option, that means that the parameter that we're creating, it's gonna affect all the windows that are the same type. Okay? But the instance option instead, it's gonna allow me to just change, in this case, the trims individually per window. So I can have 5 windows of the same type, but if the parameter is an instance parameter, I can actually change only one of those 5 windows without affecting the other 4, even when they are the same type. There is a big difference here, and you guys have to make sure you select the right one. So in this case, I want to select instance because there's only one window in that project that I don't want it to have the trims. Okay? So that's why I'm going with instance. So I'll show you how that works. Just let's keep going here. So let's click on instance, and then down here we can select in what group of parameters we want this one to be. And because it's a visibility parameter, it's a good thing to use the visibility group, which is the last in the list here. Then you hit OK, and hit OK again, and boom. Now when you select the trim again, now in the properties, you see that this box has these 2 little dashes. That means there is a parameter assigned to that. Okay? So that's
Sorry, which one did you choose?
instance.
No, after instant.
After instance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Visible.
Oh, visibility. For the group, visibility. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Visibility. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, you can put that parameter anywhere in any group, but you just have to use common sense, right? It is a visibility parameter because it's going to allow us to show or hide the trim. So I would say let's group it with the visibility parameters. So they're all in the same group.
Okay.
Okay. So now
Yeah.
again, you select the trim. And here in the properties now, you see 2 little dashes in the bottom there, which means there is a parameter applied. And also you cannot check or uncheck that box anymore because it's not controlled like that anymore. It's controlled by the parameter. Okay? Now, in the type, if we click here on the family types, now you see there is a group of parameters here called visibility, and below it there is that new parameter that we just created called trims, and it's got default between brackets, and that means it is an instance parameter. So when we use a type parameter, they will show up like these ones, for example. The width, the trim width, the height, all those here are type parameters. So when we change the height of this type, it's going to change the height of all the windows that we have of the same type. But instead, if we use the trim parameter, which is an instance parameter, it's not really going to affect all the instances, but only the one that we have selected. So hit OK to get out of there, and let's load that again into the project. Let me know when you load it and you overrode the family in the project. Okay, what happened now? Who can tell me what happened in the project?
Trim is back.
The trims are back, right? And they are back in all the windows, correct? The 4 windows have the trims now.
Yep.
But let's select this window by the front entrance. This one here. Or select whichever you want, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to select this one here. And on the properties, right now, I see a parameter called trims. that is the parameter that we just created, right? And because it was an instance parameter, it's gonna show up in the properties panel right here. But any type parameter in that family, like the width, for example, won't show up on that property panel because it's a type parameter. And to change it, we need to go and edit the type. Now here we can change the width, but we cannot change it from out here. We can only change default parameters from the property panel. So I want you guys to uncheck the box next to trims. And what happens? The trim is gone. But it's gone only on that one window. The other three still have the trim. Are you guys understanding what I'm doing here?
Yes.
Yeah? This is very important. Very useful. Because sometimes we want to be able to control what things are shown or not individually. Right? So, are you all clear about this?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Rebecca? Do you need any help? Guys, remember to let me know every time you don't understand something, okay? So you are in the family.
Yeah.
Okay, override. There. What happened? The trims are not showing.
Big.
Why is that? Okay. Yeah, go to a 3D view for some. Select that trim. Now you have the parameter applied to it.
Yeah.
Let me see what parameter it is. Trim. Good. That's correct. Hit OK. Go to the types here. And go down trim default. Okay. Yeah. So you have everything set up correctly. Okay. Your window is EHTC Windows. Load it again. And select this window here. No, just select it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you have the trim on.
Yeah.
But you're not seeing the trim. You know what I think the reason is? Your trim is probably in the inside. No. Oh. Okay, why is your trim not showing up then? Okay, hold on there a second, guys. Oh, yeah, you're wrong here. See what's hiding? It's not the trim, it's the frame. So probably you selected the wrong object. Let's try that again. Yeah, I'm not sure what you did here, actually. You don't have a trim, don't you? I don't know why, but you don't have a trim. You don't have the glass either. Yeah, you don't have the glass.
So it should be like all the things.
Yeah, you should have three objects.
Two.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why. The trim looks like went away. Must have done something.
Like
You can create the trim
from the
again.
beginning or?
Maybe. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna leave this family alone. From your palette, go to insert and then load the family that I created instead of the one that you created. We're gonna use the one that I created, which is where? Okay. Network.
Yeah.
Come on. How do you get the network? Just show.
It's
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. Oh, okay. Okay.
It's kind of slow.
Oh, it's slow. I see.
你比如说
Come on. Network. Sorry guys, just hold on a second there. What's going on?
It always like this. Like,
It's always that slow?
yeah. Like you try.
But it shows up eventually?
Yeah. Like you
Does it
try
happen to you when you do? If you try to go to the network? Yeah, load the family.
Yeah.
What happens if you go to the network?
That one is faster.
Wow.
You see, like
No, I don't think that's working at all.
it,
Yeah.
要中文也不会。
这个在找，他在这儿选的。
So there's like average.
然后呢，你也是在PC。
Yeah, but it's not showing up.
Oh.
But that's not the one that you need.
Oh, okay.
Scroll one. You need one called Woody. Oh, there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now it showed up. Okay, Woody EHTC, and then EHTC program. Is it here or
这
here?
边现在有什么信息？
I think it's the first one.
Yeah. So Revit training,
Yeah.
Revit spring, resources. Yeah, but I don't know if it's, let me just save it. Okay, let's try that. Click on this one here.
Oh.
Now you have,
The first one.
this one is yours,
Second one.
this one is yours.
Yeah.
Right. So let's do this. Select all instances. And let's change it to this one. There. Now you have to change. And then the other one with the this one here. Where is the smaller one? Oh, you have all the same? Okay. That's fine. It's okay. Okay, you can actually change one of these. So this is what I was talking about. Now you can come here and uncheck that box and the trim goes away. But only for this one, see? The other ones still have the trim. You can put it back on. Do the same with this one, and so on. Okay. So we're back here. I was just helping Rebecca a minute. So we are all clear with this, right? With the instance and the type parameters. Okay, so next thing. Let's create a new family type in the family editor. Okay? So let's go to the browser, this time to doors, and click on the door family, on the family, not the types, remember. You good? Door family. And then right click, reload. And now, just cancel that, don't save anything. And now let's look for, in class 3, for a family called door with louvers. Open. Yeah, you just let that go, and then when it's done, it's gonna prompt you again what you wanna override, and always go with the bottom one.
Are you send the family to us? Is that
Sorry?
Is it like the family is a system in the system, or you need to send it to us?
Oh, that one you should have it in Skype.
it?
I put it in Skype, right? Remember? The beginning of the class?
Sorry,
So
I
the door
will
family?
Huh?
The door family?
Yeah.
Send it to us.
Do you see one called door with louvers?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that I want you to reload.
No, I don't have that one.
I don't have them too.
Well, you should see it in well, not in Skype anymore because I deleted it. But I guess
Oh,
it's
that one have last part you send it, right?
yeah. Send it at the beginning of the class. Put them all in Skype there.
Can you send it again?
Yeah, it's not here anymore. Okay, I'm gonna add it again, and you guys can download it. Give me 1 sec here. God, this is so annoying. Okay, it's there now. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right, so just save it in your computer, and then do what I just did here. Go to the browser on the doors. Select the one that you had there before, which I think is door family, right?
Yes.
And then I click it.
Then right click on it. and
No, I mean
select-
I click the override like at the bottom one, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, no, nothing happens. It actually,
Okay.
the name now should be door with louvers,
Yep.
right?
It just show up. Yeah, it show up on the doors family right now.
Yeah, exactly. On the doors family, now you should have one called door with louvers,
Yep.
right? Good. Now, select one of the doors in your model there, and tell me here what name you see.
Door with the lotus.
Door with louvers?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. We're all the same then. Alrighty, so that's how you reload a family in your project. You go to the browser, select the family, right click on it, and say reload. And that is useful when, let's say, like, I don't know, we created a new family, for example, and we realize now that we can change our doors to that new family that we created. We can come here, then say reload, go find the new family, and reload it, and then the family that we used to have in the project is now going to change to that new family. All right? So, next, let's see what we do here. Rename it to we're using right click again, reload the same family from the class. Yeah, we did that already. So now we're gonna model something in a family, like the same way we did with the window, where we modeled the frame and the glass. Let's do the same now with the door. So let's go to our browser again and click on that family called door with louvers, and right click on it and say and select edit. Okay, Everybody is now in the door family?
Yep.
Yeah? Good. So go to a 3D view and let me know if you see the same as I see here in my screen. Well, you weren't seeing the wall too, but except for the wall, you're seeing the same thing, right? Good. I do have the wall too, but it's just not shown in this view. That's okay. Everybody sees that same door?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. Now, please go to the exterior elevation. And as you can see on this elevation, this door doesn't have a trim like the window did, right? We want to create a trim for this door now. So how do we do that? You remember how we did the trim, the window, using the extrusion command here. So we could use that same command to create a trim for this door. But I want to use a different thing today, or this time. And I want to use the sweep command, which is a different way of modeling within a family. We have multiple commands. Extrusion and sweep, I would say, are the most useful ones, but there's more. Okay. Now let's try the sweep command. Simone, are you ready? Are you on the elevation, exterior elevation? Okay, cool. You know what? Type on your keyboard. Type T. Hold on. Sorry, forgot. Yeah, TL. TL. You see now your lines are a little thinner. It's cleaner. Okay. So now let's use that sweep command. So click on it, and when you click on it, at the very top here, you see some options here. Again, we see the set work plane command. Let's select that one, and this time select the same thing. Reference plane, center, front to back. Okay. Now we go back to the modify sweep tab up here and select sketch path. So because we are creating a sweep means an object that is creating using a profile that's gonna sweep across a path. And I'll show you what that means in a minute. But the first thing we gotta do is create a path for that sweep. So we're gonna draw a path using the line option here. That's gonna go in the perimeter of the door, not including the bottom, because we don't want to trim at the bottom of the door. Otherwise, we'll trip when we go through the door, right? So we're gonna put the trim just on the two sides and the top of the door. So let's start drawing those lines. From the first point here, click on the next point, and then on the next one, and then the next one. And then we have the 3 lines there. That is gonna be our path. Okay? And then you see this little thing here with a little red dot, and that is the plane where the profile is going to be drawn. So for now, we're only drawing the path. Once we're done with the path, we need to draw the profile that is going to sweep around or along that path. So if you drew the 3 lines already, hit escape, and go back to the modify sweep tab up here, and hit the check mark because we're done. Okay? So now we have the path there. See it? That's the path. Next thing we gotta do is select this little plane, which I just told you is the profile plane, and go to Edit Profile. You see it here? Edit Profile. When we select that, we need to now specify what view we want to use. And because the profile plane is horizontal, we're only able to use floor plan views, like the floor plan or the reflected ceiling plan. Because we need to look at a horizontal plane. So we cannot use an elevation, we cannot use a 3D view, or we cannot use a section view, for example. This time we can only use a floor line. But let me go back a minute. If this plane was, say, a vertical plane, like say instead of being like horizontal like this one, it was a vertical plane like this one in the middle here, then we will need to use one of the side elevations, for example, to sketch that profile. Okay? So for now, we are gonna edit the profile and select the floor line view. And now we are looking at the door from above. Right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So what we need to do now is sketch the profile for that trim. And that trim is going to be the same as the one in the window. It's just going to be a rectangular profile. So let's use the rectangle option up here instead of the line one. And let's draw that trim on the exterior side of the wall, because we want the trim to be on the outside, right? And right here, in this corner here, which is where the wall starts, we're gonna draw a little rectangle there. Any size, I don't care for now. Just draw a rectangle there. I would suggest, Jennifer, to draw it on the closer side to this little red dot, because that little red dot is the center of the path. So let's draw it here, starting on this corner here, and then something like that, like I'm showing on the screen here. There, good. Any size, I don't care. So now that is the profile. It's just a rectangular profile. Very simple. If you guys are all done with that, click on Finish Edit Mode. And then now we have the profile. And if we go back to the elevation, we have the path. And here is the profile. See? We have both now. So we are ready to create the trim. We're gonna select or click on the Finish Edit Mode again, the check mark. And look what happened. Now we have a big trim there. Right? Everybody did that?
Yep.
Okay, good.
But my trim is all blue.
Huh?
My trim is all blue.
It's blue?
Yeah, so
Because you selected it, right?
I think so. Let's.
If I selected mine, it's blue too.
Okay.
That means only that it is selected.
Yep.
Okay, let me just go to the washroom here quickly. I'm drinking too much water, I think. But before I go, please select the trim and go to Edit Sweep. And now, select that profile. And always remember, look for the red dot. That red dot is the center of the profile. When you see that dot, that's where the profile is. So select it and hit Edit Profile again. Go to the floor line view again. And this time I want you guys to sketch something different. Different from a rectangle. just draw whatever you want to draw there. And finish all, and then we'll see what it looks like when I'm back, okay? Okay, what does it look like now? What do you do, Rebecca? You just did another rectangle. How about you? Oh, that yours is fancy, huh? Let me see a 3D view. Oh, nice. Okay, Winnie here came up with a very, very elaborated profile, which is cool. How about Jennifer? Oh, nice. And yeah, okay, perfect. How about you guys in Ottawa? Did you create a new profile?
Yes.
Did it go well? Okay. Now, if you don't mind, go back and make a rectangle again, please. Because I want to do something now that we will need a rectangle for. Let me know when you're done. Okay, let me know when you're done, okay? Wow. Your trim is really thick. But that's okay, I don't care. Are you guys done?
Yep, my trim looks normal.
Normal? Perfect. That's what I want to see. Alright, so let's just give this a quick try. Let's load this into the project for a minute. And override the existing version and its parameter.
Lower the bit close.
Huh? Sorry, Kai, what did you say?
Oh, sorry, nothing.
Okay. So what happened to your doors in your project? Are they showing the new trim? Yeah, yours are, at least, Jennifer. It's big though. Doesn't look very nice, but it is there. Okay, that's what happens here, right?
So
Now
my
we
trim
have-
isn't fit my door. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah?
Sorry, go ahead.
You're good? Okay. So everybody should be seeing now trims on one of the sides, or yeah, on one of the sides of the doors, in all of the doors in your project, right? Good. But like we did with windows, we don't want all those doors to have the trim, because actually we just want the front door, this one here, to have the trim. The interior doors, we don't have them with that trim. So what we're gonna do is go back to the family, the door family, and do the same we did for the windows. We're gonna control the visibility of that trim. So select the trim in any view that you're on, doesn't matter. Just select that trim, okay? And then let's do the same we did before. Let's come here to the properties, and next to visible, click on that little box. And this time, we don't have any parameter, so we're gonna create a new one. We are gonna call it exterior trim, because that one is only on the exterior side of the door. But this time, I want this trim to be a type parameter, okay? And we want to group it under visibility again, right? Everybody's up to here? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get, okay, okay. And now we are controlling that visibility in the entire type, okay? So let's go to the family types here. How many types do we have there? Anybody can tell me? 5? Okay, that sounds, yeah, I do have 5 as well. So if everybody has 5 types, that's good. If you don't, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Now, let's go to the 36 by 80 type. So you, again, use this drop down menu here and click on 36 by 80. So we are in 36 by 80 now. We're gonna change something here. We are gonna no, actually, let's go to 30 by 80. 30 by 80. We are gonna uncheck the exterior trim parameter under visibility. All right? And then go to 24 by 80 and do the same thing. And basically do the same thing for all the types except for 36 by 80. That's the only one I want to show the trim on. Let me know when you're done. Let me know. Yeah?
So
It's right here.
Okay, give me 1 sec, Jason, or Leon. That?
That's
Okay, that's good. No, it's good. It should actually be only 3. I don't know why I have 5.
okay.
But yeah, so for 30, oh, but you have all 36 by 80. Okay, that's fine. Just leave 36 by 80 with the trim, and the other 2, just uncheck the trim box. Go down here. Is that here? Where's your trim? Okay, well, you don't have a parameter yet. I don't think you applied the parameter. Okay, go to a 3D view quickly. Where's your trim? No, you don't have a trim either. But tell me, you had the trim before.
Yeah.
So what happened?
It may just like.
Okay, you know what? Let's do the same we did with the window. Let's go in your project, and reload this family with the one in the network that I'm gonna save right now. Just give me 1 sec. So I just saved it. So reload the one in your project so that you can see the same as we did. Okay, guys, the rest of you. Jason, you had a question?
yep. What should I change the parameters to?
Which parameter?
Like, what should I change the dimension to? Or what should I change the type to?
No, we're not changing any dimension for now. We're just changing the visibility of the trim. So look at my screen here for a minute.
Okay.
If I selected that trim that we created before,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Make sure here, this box, when you click on it, it has the exterior trim parameter.
Okay.
Do you have that?
Let me go to the exterior view again. Let's see. No, that's not true. Sorry, what's the name of it?
Of the what? Of the parameter?
Yeah, parameter data name.
Okay, no, I'm not sure where you're at right now.
Okay.
So make sure you select the trim.
Yep, I select. Yep.
You have the trim selected?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Click on this box here.
Yeah, I did already.
Okay. What do you see here?
Exterior trim.
Yeah, so select that one.
Oh, not the new one. Oh
Huh?
wait, I didn't see any
You don't have this thing that I have here?
these things.
Huh?
I don't have the exterior trim.
You don't have it. Okay, so create it by clicking on this button here.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Create, and then again type the name, exterior trim.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Leave as type,
Type. Okay.
and down here select visibility. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah? So hit OK now.
Yep.
All right. So now you do see the exterior trim here now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Select it and hit OK.
Okay.
All right. So that's what you need to have there. So let's go and reload the family into the project again. All right. So tell me what happened now.
Only one door was trim.
Only one door with trim, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
How many doors? How many doors do you guys have with the big trim or with the new trim?
One.
Just one, right? Because it's only the one that is the 36 by 80 type. The other doors are different types. And because this parameter we created as a type parameter is only going to affect the doors on that type. But if now we inserted a new door, let's go to architecture, door. Let's insert a new door and let's use the 36 by 80. And let's put it on this wall over here, or any wall that you want to put it, basically. What happened? That door comes with the trim because it's the type that we checked the trim visibility parameter on, right? And if you select it, you go to the properties here, you don't see any parameter called trims or exterior trims, do you? You don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is because it's a type parameter, it's not a default parameter. So unlike the windows that I was able to just hide the trims on one of them, in this case I cannot hide the trim on this door and not on this one, right? So if I change it on in one of them, like I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna hide the trim, it's gonna hide it on both. See? So that is, again, what type and default parameters are and how they work. And again, time is kind of over, and we're not completely done with today's exercise. Still have quite a few things to do here, but I guess it's just not going to be time enough. But let's just try to do something real quick here. And I'm just gonna do it. I don't want you guys to do it. Just look at what I'm doing right now. And next class we'll do it together, okay? So I'm gonna edit this door again, because honestly, that trim that I just created is pretty bad. It's too big. I don't know, it doesn't look good. So I want it to look more like the trim in the windows. So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna edit the family again, select the trim, and again go edit sweep. But the sweep is okay because the trim is going where I want it to go. It's just the profile that is not good because it's too big. So I'm gonna select the profile and I'm gonna edit it and go to that floor plan view again. And this time what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some parameters to that trim so that I can control the size of the trim, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the dimension over here and measure from this line to the face of the wall. And it's 3 inches right now. But that is too thick. My trim shouldn't be that thick. So I'm actually gonna change it to, let me see what I have here in the class, to 1. Let's make that trim only 1 inch thick. So when we have a dimension, if we select the element that the dimension is dimensioning, we can change that dimension by clicking here in the number and then type whatever we want. And I'm gonna type 1 inch. See how the trim becomes thinner? Good. So this dimension, I'm actually gonna make it a parameter so that I can change that thickness anytime without having to come here and sketch all this again. So from my project, I can just go to the type, edit that parameter, and change the thickness of that trim. So to do that, I'm gonna select this dimension, and here, where it says label, I'm gonna pick a parameter, which I don't have the one that I need. This is a little different. So normally in the previous versions of Revit, you actually have the option of adding a new parameter to that dimension. But it looks like 2017 and up don't have that anymore, which is weird, but okay, that's okay. Oh, here, sorry, it's right here. It's just outside now. The one that I use every day, it has it right here, but now they changed it and it's here. So we are gonna create a parameter, and we click on this, and the same window shows up again. Every time we create a parameter, this is a window we're gonna see. And this time, because we are using a dimension, it's already gonna be the discipline is already gonna be common, and the type of parameter is gonna be length, because we cannot apply any other parameter to a dimension, only length. Okay. So we type here the name of that parameter, which is gonna be trim. Oh, come on. Projection exterior. I can't name it anything. Honestly, I could say just trim thickness or whatever. But I'm just gonna follow the same that they had for the other trim. So trim projection exterior. And I want it to be a type parameter. Okay? Because I don't want to be changing the thickness of the trim individually in every door. I just want all the doors to have the same trim. So I'm gonna say type, and I'm gonna group it under dimensions, which is already there. Hit OK, and that parameter becomes, that dimension becomes a parameter. As you can see here, there was another parameter applied already to the inside trim called trim projection interior. That's why I used this name, just to keep it consistent, right? So now that trim, it's gonna change its thickness every time I change that parameter. I'll show you what that means. go to a 3D view, and look at the trim now, right? If I change the parameter, trim projection exterior, to 5 inches, oh, sorry, I did something wrong actually. Let's go back here a minute. So this line on the trim should actually be locked to the wall. Remember before we did the same with the glass? We locked it to the frame of the window. Now we're gonna lock this trim to the wall. So we can use the align command and then click on the lock. So that means that every time I change this parameter, this line is not gonna move, but this one is. Only this one is going to move. Alright? Forgot that little step there. But let's try it again. We change the type to 1 inch again. And boom. See how it changes? So if I loaded this into my project, see how it changes here? And I can actually do it from here as well. I can just change the projection exterior to 3 inches, and it's gonna change in all the windows, in all the doors, sorry. Where's the other one? Here. See? Both changed to a thicker trim. Alright, let's put it back to 1. And then both changed. Now if well, let's go back here and show you one little thing and then we're done. So I'm controlling the thickness of that trim, but I want to control also the width, because right now it's too wide, right? It's too big for that door. So how can I do that? I can edit the sweep again, edit the profile, and this time dimension this line. So now I'm going to control how far this line goes, which means how wide the trim is going to be. Alright? So we'll do the same thing, sorry, create a new parameter called trim, sorry, or maybe exterior trim width. We'll leave it as a type again, and then we make sure this line here, it's locked to the door, so that every time we change the width of the door, the trim actually changes as well as per the door. So we hit, and now my trim is better. It's only 3 inches wide, and I can change that again the same way from 3 to 6, let's say. See? Now that is a better looking trim. We can reload it again and look. See how it changes? Perfect. What we can do now, for example, is have a type called 3680 with 3 inches trimmed, right? And we can duplicate that type and call it with 6 inches trims, and then change the actual value from 3, where is it? Trim width exterior here. From that to 6, and the other one to 3. Now, this door is gonna have 3 inches trims, and this other door it's going to have 6-inch trims. There. See how they're different? Because they're different types. And each type has its own parameter for the trim width. Okay, everybody understood this?
Yes.
We are going to do it again next class. Don't worry. I know it was a little rushed. We'll do it over again. And we'll finish the practice here, which we're still missing a few steps here, like all these. And then probably we are just gonna work on that other project, the semi-detached house, together next class. Is that okay?
Yep.
Now, if you guys have time and are able, I would like you to keep working on that other project that I left as a homework last time. If you're not done, you can finish it, or if you didn't do anything, you can probably start doing it. And that homework can be found in the class resources, class number 2, class 2 handout. That PDF there, it has that homework. And today's class, which is class 3, has another handout with all the steps that we did today. And at the end, there is another homework, which is this one that I have here in the screen. So, did I give you that, guys, today in Ottawa?
Not yet.
Didn't I attach that at the beginning of the class?
You didn't send a handout yet.
No?
Nope.
Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the 2 handouts there. And you guys can work on whichever you want, okay? So I'm gonna attach class 3 handout. And class 2.
Do you send to us a pro? Oh, yeah, I saw it already.
Okay, can you see the 2 handouts now in Skype?
Yes.
Yeah.
Class 2 and class 3. So those are all the steps that we went through in last class and today's class.
Okay.
And at the end, you have the homework exercise. So if you guys didn't do anything for last class, and if you have time, please try to do the homework of class number 2. Or if you did that one, then maybe, I don't know, maybe you can try class 3 homework, or maybe you want to keep working on class 2 homework. It's up to you. The more you can do, the better. But if you can't, it's okay. We'll do it next class for sure. All right?
Okay.
Okay, any questions before you guys go? No questions? Nope.
Not right now. Maybe when I do just like when I feel confused when I was doing my homework, and then who can I ask?
Yeah, that's a good point, and I'm not sure because I don't have access to Skype or anything during the day.
Yeah.
So I guess if it's a Revit question, you probably have to wait until the next class. But please, I suggest just write down all the questions that you come across. Write it down, and when we get to the class, you can ask them. Okay?
Yep.
So before you go, did you guys download all the things that are attached in Skype?
Yes.
Already.
Yeah?
Mm.
Okay, good. Okay, so well, you can go then. See you on Tuesday.
Okay, see ya.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.